Why is it always... Oh, well, yeah. But, hello everybody on YouTube, this is Mr. Pumpkin 708. And, yeah, today's the big day. Today, Spider-Man Homecoming comes out. As you can see, I'm wearing my, Spider-Man shirt. I'm trying out this light effect. I know it seems terrible, but I got my lamp right there. And, yeah, so let me talk about Spider-Man Homecoming. So I just seen it today. I went out with my girlfriend. You may have not seen her, by the way, but right there, there she is. Beautiful, isn't she? Beautiful, isn't she? There's me right there. That was on like another day when we were still in school, I think, or it could have been the summer. I don't know. It's been a long time. All right, so I took her to go see Spider-Man Homecoming. And I know what you might be all thinking. Like, ever since I did the Spider-Man discussion video, I said, like, oh, I did not like how Tom Holland was Spider-Man. But actually, he did good. I'm not kidding. I think he did good. And, yeah, so this is going to be a full review of Spider-Man Homecoming, and just before you know it, there are some spoilers in here, so spoiler alert. So yeah, so the film begins 2 years before, since the Avengers, or was it 8 years? I can't remember, but it begins a long time ago where the first Avengers movie took place. That they were all like these huge alien selves, and then we got to see the Vulture, Michael Keaton's character. And so they're trying to like get rid of, salvage all these alien parts that they found from the weird alien things. I can't remember them, but I remember the first Avengers movie. But yeah. So anyways, a group of people try to stop them, and so they gave in. So, but Michael Keaton was very interested in this like alien stuff because he thinks to himself, what if we could make something out of that? So flash forward a couple of years later, and he builds this wing tech suit that makes him fly, and that's when the Vulture makes his first appearance. And then after that, we get to see a film by Peter Parker. He like video records his cell phone a lot. And then they show some clips from Captain America Civil War, last year's Captain America Civil War, where he gets the Spider-Man suit made by Tony Stark, and then he shows up there. And then, yeah. And so, so Peter Parker and Tony Stark were riding the car along with Happy, played by John Farrow, and Tony Stark says that Spider-Man could keep the suit. So Spider-Man Peter Parker gets the suit, and then every day, as soon as crime starts, he puts it on. But Tony Stark says that if there's a mission out there, he will contact him. Well, that does not happen for a full 2 months. And you could really see that he has left some texts from Happy. And then we get to see Midtown High. And we get to see Peter's love interest, which is Liz. And yeah, so Liz gets introduced, as well as Zendaya. I think that's her name, Zendaya. And they introduce the characters, the fat Asian kid. I don't know his name, but I'm just going to call him the fat Asian kid. So he's really nerdy, and he holds up Peter Parker like this Lego Star Wars figure of, I forgot his name, but he was the Emperor for Darth Vader. Emperor Palpatine Lego action figure with electricity bolts coming out of his hands. So, After that, we are introduced to Flash Thompson. And Flash Thompson is a bully and he does it good, but I cannot get over what he calls Peter Parker. Even at the party that they went to, it's DJ Flash, and then as soon as Spider-Man goes whereabouts, the fat Asian kid hurls up the phone into the audience as Flash does this most weirdest name ever to Peter Parker. Instead of his first name being Peter, he replaces it with penis. So now it's Penis Parker instead of Peter Parker. So he calls him Penis Parker. Kind of strange, isn't it? So it actually shows us so school ends, and then Peter Parker goes into like this alleyway, and he dresses up in his Spider-Man suit, and then he swings, and so he stops a thief from getting away with a bicycle, and then he helped an old lady out, and so he helped a lot of people, and then we see him thinks that a criminal is breaking into someone's car when actually it's not, and then we get a Stan Lee cameo. You know how in every Marvel film, Stan Lee makes a cameo in that as a different other character. And also, Stan Lee, if you're watching this, I'm very sad that your wife passed away. It's tough, dude. Anyways, during that scene, he sees a couple of people breaking into a bank, which they're wearing Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, and some other masses that were fake. And then they're using like all this alien tech that they have been building throughout the years to like break into like ATMs and get like money from it. So Spider-Man's there to beat them up, and then one of them actually uses the laser and then cuts out from the bank to like a food store. Well, like one of those like on the street corner food stores. So Spider-Man saves the owner, and he goes to his apartment to find out that his friend, the fat Asian kid, by the way, I really don't know his name, so I'm just going to call him the fat Asian kid. So he drops this Lego Death Star that he built, and then he says, "You're the Spider-Man from YouTube." So Peter Parker has like a YouTube channel where he just films himself with his Spider-Man suit. So throughout the movie, he has to tell him, "Hey, keep it a secret, keep it a secret," because he doesn't want Aunt May to see that he's actually a superhero. He's Spider-Man. So throughout the film, he tries to keep it a secret. Until, well, I'll explain that later. Anyways, they go to school, they talk about it, and yeah, as it sets up for the Vulture, we actually get more Vulture story and more Spider-Man story, but we don't get to see. What's really missing about this is that how did he get the spider powers? Where's the scene where the spider comes down to his hand and bites him? We don't get that in this movie, and that's kind of a shame because the other Spider-Man movies showed it. So why didn't this one? Why didn't this one had some backstory on how he got these powers? So I'm trying to remember because it's been a couple hours since I seen it. Alright, so and then they plan the Washington D.C. trip. They go to Washington D.C. and Spider-Man springs into action and also finds out that his suit could talk. All Peter had to do was hack into the suit, remove the chip they put on one of the guards, as they seen. Well, at first they noticed him from when he was training the guns. So that so they were under this bridge, and this van was there carrying like all sort of like alien tech. And Spider-Man swoops in and tries to stop them, but he's too late because the Vulture swoops down and grabs him into the air. And Spider-Man has like a parachute that's mounted in his suit. And then Iron Man saves him, but Tony Stark wasn't in the suit. It's like this new high-tech suit that Tony made. So he was in like India or something, and the suit could do that stuff. It was introduced in Iron Man 3 where the suit could fly out without the host being inside. It was first introduced to I said Spider-Man 3, but it's Iron Man 3. Alright, so throughout that, the Washington DC trip, and after hacking the suit can talk. It's a female voice. And throughout the time, she's always been giving him the wrong web. So there was taser webs, web grenades, any sort of thing. There's like 576 web shooter capabilities that Peter Parker could do. And that's a lot of web shooter combinations for just be able to shoot web from your wrist. So he gets trapped in some sort of vault in some sort of secret place. And he tries to break out, and he does by hacking with a calculator. And he goes to Washington, D.C., to the Washington Monument, where actually those like alien pink crystals are actually explosives. So it explodes the elevator, and all his friends got out except for the girl that he liked it. So he saves her, as well as drops down 20 stories down, or I don't know how many stories the Washington Monument is, but they never show us how he survived. They use the web rings or something. I don't know. And then they show us more of Vulture, and the Shocker. Well, the original Shocker. He didn't like him, so he just kills him. Michael Keaton kills him, and this black man is the new Shocker. So actually, the black man is going to be the new Shocker in this film. So, throughout the film, he's always tasing Spider-Man up. But that's near the end of the movie. And Vulture tries to get rid of Spider-Man. So, he marked his pinpoint to a ferry. And I'm not talking about a ferry, I'm talking about like a boat ride where it transports cars and people to another side. So they board the ferry, they do a showdown at the ferry after talking to a random guy with a very deep, distinguished voice. Man, that was one joke that got me laughing, and so did my fiance. So, throughout that, they showed the showdown at the ferry, and the gun that Vulture was using actually separated it in two pieces. The boat in two pieces. So Spider-Man webbed up the sides, and he was holding on like this. It was kind of like a throwback to Spider-Man 2, where Spider-Man shoots to the buildings to stop the train before it goes off into the street. So I think it was kind of like a homage to that scene. But Iron Man got all the people to safety, and he got really disappointed with Peter Parker, so he takes the suit away from him. And Aunt May knows about that, but she doesn't know that Peter Parker's Spider-Man. So throughout the whole film, he's through detention and all that stuff, and then Zendaya is just making fun of him, and then here's something shocking. So he asks his fiance to the prom, which she accepts, and also at the prom, Zendaya was just there. He saws him and he gives him the finger. Alright, didn't see that coming. And it might look right there that I just flipped off the audience, but actually I'm not. I'm just showing you what Zendaya actually did. Well, her name in there is Michelle. So Michelle just flips Peter off like, for some reason, I don't know. But anyways, he gets into the dance, but actually, his fiance's father is the Vulture. That was a spoiler right there. So, the Vulture is actually his fiance's daughter. Very shocking, isn't it? Well, we were talking about the shocker, so it's very shocking. Okay. Alright, so throughout that, Peter Parker gets like his original suit and goes out, but then the shocker interrupts him. So they fight with the school buses, but his web shooter, well, his other web shooter is not there. And his friend, the fat Asian kid, managed to get the web shooter and shoot it at him just in the nick of time. And throughout that, they decided to chase down Vulture. So he's using the computers. He's a very tech guy, the fat Asian kid I'm talking about. So Peter Parker is driving this Audi, which is actually Flash Thompson's dad's Audi. He steals it from them. And yeah, it gets really destroyed. And then so the teacher caught the fat Asian kid on the computer, and then I literally just gasped at what he just said. So the teacher's like, "What are you watching?" And the kid says, "I was watching porn." I just, I like rejected that. I mean, it might be funny to some people, but to me, I don't know about that. So Spider-Man breaks into Vulture's hideout, and both of them talk about like how he betrayed his girlfriend, and yeah, so his wings attack Spider-Man, but they weren't attacking him. They were trying to like bring all the structure of the building down on Spider-Man so he would be stuck there. While Happy is moving all his stuff to another Avengers location that's over there. And this is where things go a bit hectic. So Spider-Man frees himself. He uses his strength to pull out the wreckage, and man, he's got to be one hell of a dude to pull up that wreckage. So he gets to Vulture, and they both battle on the plane. And the plane was the plane scene was really good. So it crash lands on a fair, well, right by the fair on some sort of beach as they duel it out. And then one of the crystals that is controlling Vulture's wings is about to explode. So in the process, Spider-Man saves Vulture, which is his name is Toomes. So he saves Toomes. He webs him up with all the stuff. Happy goes to see, and then Happy was very impressed on how Peter Parker did. So in the end, everyone's back to normal, but Peter's fiance leaves. because her dad is going to jail, and then they're moving to a different state, and yeah, it was very tough. And then in this film, I was gassed like, what? This what moment comes when Michelle Zendaya said that, oh, my friends just call me MJ. What does MJ mean to you? Well, obvious, it means Mary Jane. So, is she Mary Jane? The one who flipped Peter off and talked shit about him? And is that the new Mary Jane? My mind was fuming from that. I mean, is this the new Mary Jane? Is she gonna be all furious and like bossy with Peter instead of like the nice kind woman from the original films? I don't know. But as soon as the next one come out, we might get further detail on that. And then they showed us, and then they showed Happy about he was pleased for Peter's job of taking out the Vulture. And so they went to the new Avengers location where Tony Stark shows us the Iron Spider suit. And it looks good. It might not have like the gold red look as it looked in like the Ultimate Spider-Man and the comics, but it looks sort of different from that. But Peter says no, he doesn't want to go further than that. But maybe when Infinity War comes out, he might change his mind. I have a gut feeling on that. But anyways, throughout that, Tony Stark gives him his Spider-Man suit back, and then out of nowhere, Aunt May saw this, and she was like, "What the?" Yeah, and as soon as she was about to say the F word, the end credits showed up, and the after credits scene surprised me. So we see Shocker, we see Vulture go into prison, and it showed us the new villain. So it was a guy who had like red stuff in his eye right here and with a tattoo of a scorpion. This gives it away on the new villain that's going to be in the sequel. So Scorpion is going to be in Spider-Man Homecoming 2. Scorpion. How long have we waited for Scorpion to be in a Spider-Man movie? Like forever. So they used the Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Venom, Sandman, Rhino, Lizard, Electro. They did Green Goblin again in the other films. But we got Vulture and now Scorpion. The world is going to be blown by Scorpion. If it's going to go for that like robotic design, just like in like the original stuff, it's going to blow everyone's minds away. And then there was a second end credit scene where it just shows Captain America. Now, Captain America was throughout the film, and in the end credits, he gets his own scene, but he really doesn't give us nothing. And then after that scene, the text says, Spider-Man will return. In the sequel, battling Scorpion. And that's Spider-Man Homecoming. How do I rate this movie? Well, I wasn't really interested when it was announced, but actually, I liked it. I kind of liked it. It was not what I expected, but it could be better. It could be better. Okay, so I'm going to give this movie... Well, my girlfriend gave it a 9 out of 10. Dad gave it a 7. My mom gave it a 10. I'm gonna give this movie, I would say about a 8 or a 9. I'm gonna give this movie an 8 or a 9. Because the movie is good, although there's two things that I really want to be improved. One is the second end scene where they didn't give us nothing. I mean, give us more stuff in it. And I'm talking about the Captain America scene. But and also second, Michelle is Mary Jane? I mean, MJ, Mary Jane. Can't miss it. So, those are my two things that I kind of disliked it, but other than that, the film was awesome. I recommend you go see it. And that's it. That's my Spider-Man Homecoming review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm using my phone, by the way. The reason why I'm not using my tablet is because it just recently got an update as soon as I was out, and it looks good. But the one thing that bothers me the most is that I was trying to upload this video on it, and the servers of Google Play have always been blocking me out. So I don't know what the hell's going on with Google Play right now, but maybe tomorrow they could fix it. Because I've got another Spider-Man 2 Let's Play that I hand uploaded from yesterday. It was like, gosh, I think it was made yesterday. So it was made yesterday, but I didn't upload it. So I can't upload it today because it's still there. So I'll upload it tomorrow, so you could see it tomorrow. Sorry about the delay, but at least it's done. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Stay true, true believers.